Hey there, welcome back to the channel. This is Fresh Squeezed. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, help support the channel. Well, if you couldn't tell by the intro there, we're talking about wash mitts, sponges, and this right here is the old style sponge, which you have probably seen me wash my car with many times. That thing's a thing of the past, and we're gonna tell you why. And we're replacing it today with the Chemical Guys Chenille Wash Mitt. Now, you probably see these types of things all over the internet, Amazon, different companies. Yeah, I'm sure you could find them and they're cheap, but listen, this one right here from the Chemical Guys, a company that I know and trust. This was $7.99. I picked it up at their detail garage store local here in Houston. So let's get into what's the benefit of this over that sponge. So I had somebody comment about my sponge the other day, and it was just simply, are you using a sponge? Kind of like, who the heck are you? And yes, I've been using this sponge for quite a long time. I just hadn't made the jump and figured what's the big deal? What's the difference in using this or this? Well, there's quite a big difference. You know, I knew it, I read about it, I tried it, I've seen it. So let's go over what those differences are. It may pick up a lot of water and soap and do that for you, but the first con is that it is just a flat surface. It might be a microfiber surface here. You know, this isn't a bad sponge, but it's a flat surface and there's not really anywhere for the dirt to go except for on the surface of this thing. So when you are using this, even with a good soap, you're gonna simply pick up that dirt, and if there's any kind of sand or grime, even those fine particles, it's gonna be right on the surface here, and there's a good chance that you're going to move it around and just create swirl marks, maybe even scratch your car. Now let's take this out of the bag and see how this Chenille Wash Mitt combats that. So, right off the bat, you can see that because of these little finger kind of things, it's going to be a lot more surface area than this sponge here. So still holds water, but when you're going over the surface of your car, that soap is going to pick up the dirt and it's going to catch it into these little fingers right here. If you can't see those things, they're beautiful. They catch it, they bring it down to the mitt itself, and the idea is that it will keep it from resurfacing on your car and scratching it. So my second observation about these two that is just as obvious as the surface area is that, well, this one you hold in your hand, this one goes on your hand. I don't know how many times I've used this sponge and I have dropped it accidentally in the middle of a wash, and then my mind just starts screaming at me not to pick it up and use it again because it's got dirt all over it, but what am I gonna do? It's the only thing I have. So inevitably I try to wash it off in the bucket, but I'm always worried that there's still some kind of dirt on here that I picked up on the ground. I'm gonna put it on my car. So this guy, you can see it right there. It's gonna go on your hand and it's gonna stay on your hand the entire time. It goes from the bucket, I squeeze it with the other hand, it goes to the car, I flip it, back to the bucket. It's never gonna hit the ground. And I love that about this. It not only makes it, you know, better for the fact that I'm not gonna pick up that dirt, but it makes it just easy knowing it's just stuck to my hand. Third observation, softness. So yes, microfiber is pretty soft, sponge, pretty squishy and soft, but you have no idea just how soft this right here, this Chenille Wash Mitt. I didn't know it until I picked it up and took it out of the bag, but I was just like, oh man, I just want to sleep on this thing. It is so incredibly soft. So this combined with a nice high quality soap like I've reviewed from the Chemical Guys, it's gonna give you really good lubricity. The two of those combined is gonna make sure that you are not scratching your car, but you're also giving it a good wash job. Fourth item on my list is its absorbency. You know, a lot of people use sponges because they hold a lot of water and soap, they think at least, but it really doesn't. It holds a lot of water, but it may not actually hold the soap, you know? The soap is not gonna get down inside of this. That foam is not gonna get down inside of this. This one, it may not feel initially as, you know, squishy or spongy, because it's not a sponge, it's a wash mitt. But because of all these fingers right here, it holds a good amount of water and soap, the foamy stuff, the stuff that you want to be using on your car. Last item on my list is cost. People see this thing, it's all bright and shiny and a nice packaging, and it's the Chemical Guys, and they think it's gonna be expensive. It's not. Like I said before, I picked this up at a shop here It's their Chemical Guys Detail Garage, and it was $7.99. Come on now. I think this is, it was at least that much when I bought it. So once again, that thing's going bye-bye. This is here to stay. So that's my 5 reasons for getting a Chenille Wash Mitt like this one here from the Chemical Guys. I'm not paid by them, I'm not sponsored by them, but I love their stuff and I like to try it and just see if the hype is all true, and it usually is. So I recommend you go out and get this one from either your local shop, or you can check out the link in the description down below and pick one up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.